Yeah, basically my job is twofold. One is to create the movement of the puppet, to turn the puppets into horses. So basically to choreograph or to basically analyze the movement of horses and put that on the puppets. So once technically the puppeteers have understood how the horse works, then how the puppet works, and then I come in and move and work on the walks, the trot, the gallops, all the little tail flicks, what the ears mean, basically to turn the puppet into a real live, unpredictable horse. Yeah, I started playing Ted as a character, and when we eventually got the go-ahead to do it at the National, I played the part of Ted in the first production in 2007 at the Olivier at the National. And then the second time, and then it was really successful, the first season that we did. Then when we were asked to do another season, I decided, or rather it was decided, me and Tom and Marianne decided that it would be better for me not to be in it if we were going to revisit the whole project and change it like we're doing now. And it was a great experience to do it as an actor, or to originate the whole character, but then to just pull back and pull out was fine. You know, it just meant I could go on to do other things. It's the analysis of movement is what I've sort of come to specialize. So it's not choreography in any sense of dance. I can't dance, and I never choreograph dance pieces. So basically when it's choreography is coming up with an imaginative way of putting something on stage, of creating an image. This is the more movement side. The horse part is more to do with analysis of movement, so that I get, because these puppets, they don't weigh very much. They're made out of cane. They're quite lightweight. I mean, I can quite easily lift it up in the air. So what I have to do, one of the first jobs is to simulate the weight of a real horse, so that when it puts a foot down on the ground, I analyze, for the puppeteers, I analyze what the pressure, so you get the weight of the horse to go over it. So, because if the audience doesn't believe that the puppets don't weigh anything, then you don't see a horse. And the way that these puppets work, if the puppet is walking, looking, thinking, feeling, being exactly like a horse, then the puppeteers disappear. You don't worry about them, because somehow your eye just sees the rhythms of a real horse. The moment the gait goes wrong, in other words, if the walk goes wrong, if they get out of sync, or if they do something that doesn't look like a horse, it's amazing how easily then you see three struggling puppeteers who are trying to create that feeling. So that's the magic. Really, when it works, is when the horses are horses, you don't see the puppeteers. What the puppeteers have to do is to transpose their movement and the quality of movement and put that into the cane, as it were. Put that in, they have to invest that into the puppet. And once they understand that way of working, then all the emotions and all the qualities, all the little looks, the height of the head, the angle, the monocular vision, the way the horses move, those are all those are little details that the puppeteer will tweak. So it's really another thing that is vital in the working is that you have three individual actors in the puppet who have to work as one. In other words, if you want the horse to suddenly bolt or to suddenly move forward or to go into a gallop, all three, that's the other thing, is the chorus work involved. The background that I work a lot with in the beginning is getting the three puppeteers to work, to think, breathe, and animate themselves as one person. So, and even to the sound effect, when we do a sound of like if the horse goes, that can be taken over by three puppeteers. One will start that'll be taken over by the second, and the third person, who possibly can only do the part, will do the part, because maybe he hasn't got the voice or the vocal range like I haven't to do the first bit. So what you get as well is the sound also is worked by 3 people rather than just one person. Otherwise you'd hear it isolated. So it's like the horse as a whole is expressing itself through sound. For me, it's all about space, and the space here is very different. The actual space on stage is very different. So already I've put back in, say there's the fight between, there's a big, when Top Thorn and Joey are introduced to each other.
Those are 2 main horses.
The 2 main horses, yeah, they don't get on very well when they first meet. And like all horses, they have to work out a hierarchy. So there is that's what they do, and there's a sequence, a fight. And already in that, I've made quite a few changes to the initial choreography, as we put it, of the fight that we have in England, because even from the fight, from the original production at the National, which again was a different space. So when I wrote that, we had a certain choreography of the fight, and then that changed for the new London production. And now when I come over here, everything's changed. The enthusiasm of the puppeteer, the whole thing about the puppeteers is very different. The energy of the puppeteers is different. They pick up stuff amazingly quickly here, and the space is different. So I've been able to just reanalyze and rethink some of the dynamics that I wanted to put back into the fight. I know in the back of our mind, and we've got a fixed choreography of the fight that we've always had. And so for me, it's just interesting to play around with instead of going from A to B, we might go from A to A1 and put something else in before going to B. So there's a bit of that, and it's already changed, to the good, for me anyway. It's really exciting. It's not really to do with it being here. I mean, I also Marianne and Tom, and Merv, and the directors, and Mervyn, who's the puppet associate. And Basil and Adrian, the handspring, and me, we've all had, if you like, it's great to have an opportunity to revisit, and this is what it is, in one sense, is a revisiting of our initial production of Warhorse in a different space and in a different country, which is great. I mean, it's very, it's not like it really would be a bit depressing if we just took the English production, came over here and replicated it. That to any of us is not particularly interesting. So it's always going to be moving forward, because it's that sort of production. And it wasn't written by Shakespeare, which means you can change quite a lot and get away with it.